climate that we feel. Yeah. Happy coffee, happy plants make happy coffee. Just remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look. She's picking just the last of everything that she finds. Then later on is sorted over here. Candies, cough syrup, anything that has to do with lung and respiratory system, it comes from here, the medicine. Cosmetics as well, use a lot of balsam, perfumes, for example, cream, lotion, uses balsa wood. Yeah, Vicks Vapor Rub, balsam. Fisherman friend.
It's not menthol.
Balsam. It's a menthol.
Oh, okay. It is. Okay.
It's a menthol.
Gotcha.
That's so great.
Wow.
Balsam.
This is menthol balsam.
Productivity. At the end of the year, sure, it's a beautiful hobby and it's gorgeous being here, but we have to pay the bills at the end of the day, right? And so you have to be in charge of productivity. The more you're able to retrieve from every square meter of your plantation, is better for the pocket. Coffee, specialty coffee, what we're doing is a specialty coffee, which means very high-end coffee. This coffee has a longer maturity cycle or a more prolonged maturity cycle, enhancing a higher amount of lipids, acids, which are smells, fragrance, and taste. Sugar content. Sugar content can be categorized from D, C, B, enhanced, more on the beverage. This is called natural.
Okay.
If we eliminate the shell, we call it honey.
Okay.
If we wash off the honey, we call it washed coffee. Today we're going to try red bourbon washed coffee and Pacamara honey.
Okay.
These are two completely different beverages from each other.
Sorry, I need to hear it again. So the honey is when you keep the nectar dried on it.
With the whole seed.
So you take the skin off. Take the skin off.
Yeah.
No, the whole. This is honey, right?
No, this is not. This is with the skin on.
Okay, sorry. So now I'm confused. Can you say it again, the two processes? I'm sorry.
These are three processes.
Yeah.
Look. This is natural.
So it's got
With the shell.
Ferment,
Let's not talk about ferment. We haven't talked about ferment.
Okay.
Take a look. This,
It has the red on it.
we
dried.
pick it
The skin.
We dry it.
and we dry it. But don't say red because some varieties mature yellow or
Okay.
orange
Good to
or
know.
Just the
they are
shell's on.
mutations. Just the shell is on. The shell is on.
That's called
The shell is
natural.
on. It's called natural. You eliminate the shell with a machine that we have in there, and then we dry it with the honey. Look, and it's called honey
So
process.
with the syrup over top.
Yeah.
With what you tasted,
Yeah.
the sweetness.
Not washed off.
Yes, the nectar.
The nectar. You wash off the nectar, and you have washed coffee.
Okay.
Take a look at the difference of colors.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is your favorite?
And then inside, that's a very relative question. Complex to answer like that. Look, and then inside.
Not one is better than the other, though.
Not one is better than the other.
Is there more of a popular to sell though? What companies want?
Yes. So red bourbon washed, probably world consumption consumes maybe around 60-65% of washed coffee. Because that's the concept. That's the concept that we have been trained that coffee should taste like this.
Okay.
Throughout the years, we have tasted coffee. However, it's the way that we consume it is changing. Not the product,
Starbucks says,
but how we consume it
Right.
is changing.
So some people can
So
make
now
coffee out of that whole
I
thing.
buy this
Yeah.
and I roast this.
Yeah.
This is the end product.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
On specialty coffee, you have to be clean. Clean, like nerd style. Please put your hands in there. Every 30 to 40 minutes, we should be rotating and switching around the beans. Every 30 to 40 minutes of every single day. The naturals take around 3 weeks, the honey takes around 2 weeks, and the wash takes around 1 week. If you dry it natural, it will enhance the fruitiness. If you dry it honey, it will be sweeter. If you do it washed, it's what you get.
By hand.
How many bags is this?
Sorry?
3 bags?
What?
How many bags is this?
I am.
Of the finished product, 1.5 bags.
No, I mean like.
This one has almost been all separated. However, I need the hand of a young little girl. Who is, can I borrow a hand? Whose hand? Can I borrow your hand? Give it to me. I want to borrow it. Put it here. Put it here. You're gonna show. You're gonna show everybody the process of coffee. Look at this. First, we start with the tiniest flower, like you. That gets pollinated. Then we have here a bean that is growing. And even more with the rainy season. The rainy season stops and then we start maturing, okay? And so we start changing of color. Take a look, We start changing of color to a more red. Who's got another hand? You got it, your hand? Let's see. From the red, we get more red until we get to just perfect. Because then, too much. So we have to train our pickers for specifically, this is the first quality control filter that goes on, is making sure that you are picking 100% maturity. Not under maturity or over maturity. It's ripe. It's ready.
And that's sweet too.
This will be sweet. So let's see your other hand. Anatomy of coffee, real quick. We have the 2 beans. We have the 2 beans over here. We have the nectar, because like any other fruit, it produces natural sugars, right? So we have the nectarine, and we have the shell of the protection of the fruit that we call pulp. You want to savor it? Let's see if we can find others that are ready.
So what do people use
Can I
the
eat
pulp
this?
for?
Can I eat this?
Try it. Just savor. Don't chew. Only.
Like coffee fruit extract? Is
It's
that
so
a thing?
good.
Like, do they use the fruit and the pulp for?
No,
anything?
we use
then-
the pulp to make plant food, and we return it to the farm.
Okay.
Right out in the patios,
Yeah.
just like coffee, and I'm able to sell the husk for tea infusion.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
like a secondary.
Yeah. Like a-
So the no waste culture, you
it
know.
has like a hibiscus.
Skin used for anything?
Guys,
That's what he does.
higher acidity, higher sweetness, a bigger adjective list, you know, to be able to explain properly the beverage. So if you categorize by altitude, which is the same categorizing of the maturity cycle, we say from 0 to 800 meters above sea level, we call it Central Standard coffee. From 800 to 1,200, we call it high altitude. We call it
Meters.
strictly high altitude coffee.
Okay.
SHG.
Okay.
So when you buy coffee, for example, the coffee bags, the big burlap sacks, if they say SHG, you know that it's good stuff. It's slow maturity. It should be good stuff.
High altitude,
Not everything.
high altitude coffee deals with less pests and disease because of the altitude, right? The lower altitude,
Oh, mycotoxins.
mycotoxins.
What do you think about that?
Pests. Number 1 pest of any coffee grower is the airborne mushroom that is called coffee rust. That is your number 1, because from there you need to see whether this is how long we are able to prolong the maturity cycle. So down there, everybody's picking in October. In the middle of the mountain, everybody's picking around in December, and here, the top of the mountains, we are picking in January, maybe beginning of February. The top peaks of El Salvador are around 500 meters higher than here, so they are finishing in the beginning of March. And that's it for coffee picking till next year.
And how much do you make per acre?
This is the natural look.
Yes.
Let's see, get in there. This is the natural.
Yes.
That's washed, and they are both with parchment. We call it el pergamino, parchment,
Yeah.
which is what the last line of defense, let's say,
Yeah, the shell,
of the
yeah.
shell.
soon as
All the
you
plants,
pick everything.
as a natural law, all living plants, when you're in the rainy season, you're okay. Once you eliminate the water, you start stressing. What do you do when you stress? Because you think that you're gonna die, you produce fruits to be able to reproduce
Okay.
for the next generations.
Okay.
Survival of the species.
And when we have
Basic
seasons, it's the seasons. Here it's the rain. Okay. But the picking season, as soon as the dry season starts,
Yes.
it starts picking.
All the fruits start coming out.
Okay.
All the flowers start blooming again. Instantly do cream and coffee and sugar
Because they had to
be-
mask the...
because they had to like drink it somehow. So now that stayed.
So they would pick it, but y'all wouldn't drink it. They
They'd export it because they'd make more money.
Because that's a better coffee.
Better
But
price.
now you're saying that they
They'd
keep
just
it
keep
here.
the cheaper
now
stuff.
they're keeping it.
So that's what
Now
you're
there's
saying here.
more-
You're eradicating the power.
More local production and more local consumption.
You do your stuff for the local.
Only for the locals.
Yes.
And
That's your heart.
the foreigner communities that arrive.
Like tourist people.
The idea that started was really to be able to like feed good coffee to the surf community.
Huh.
And you own a surf school. Is that, are you, that's what you do?
That's Alex. I run the tour operator business and the coffee.
Okay.
Lele. 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 Cheese. Lele, cheese. Lele. Cheese.
Like little acorns that she.
Did you guys smell it? You guys get to smell it?
It's so fruity.
Oh, so
Sweet
good.
and fruity, huh?
Oh yeah.
Does it smell anything?
Already that will give you an idea of
Almost like
the beverage. Yeah, exactly.
I think of fig.
Yeah.
Daniel, it's like a fig. Daniel, it smells like fig.
Yeah.
Like
I
dried
wonder
fig.
if it's like healthier for you to come up here. It's like
It's healthier to work hard.
Because it's what you're used to, you know, as the concept of coffee.
Do y'all roast your beans here, or do y'all bring them somewhere?
Down at the beach where
Oh,
where
that's
you
where
guys
you roast them. Okay.
where we're going is the coffee
Is
roasting.
that water in the blue thing?
yeah, it's just water.
Yeah, I like to taste
Yeah,
that
this has it all.
Can you say that one more time?
body.
Body, bitterness, sweetness, acidity.
That's it.
Okay.
Mama, look at her. Mama.
This
No, I
definitely
do. I don't
has
want
sweet.
a lot of
Are you drinking coffee?
Stands out more
No,
than
she
the
took
other.
my
So the notes that we're looking for here
This
is
is actually
raw
sweet.
cacao, dark chocolate bitterness, and sweetness like caramel.
Okay.
Not honey, not sugar, caramel.
Okay.
Because it's a
Now, is this dark or light or
The
medium?
difference
this is a medium roast.
between
Medium
caramel,
roast, okay.
Say caramel and then what would be?
Dark chocolate.
Was invented in El Salvador back in the 50s to specifically fight off the first introduction of coffee rust. So this hybrid is a much stronger plant, more resistant to coffee rust than red bourbon.
What gives coffee the bitterness? Is that the acidity?
No, that is the roasting.
That's very
No,
sweet.
for you.
Oh, okay. So this is a medium roast. Huh. Okay.
Now, does the word honey have anything to do with the taste? It doesn't taste like honey.
The drying process.
The what?
Honey, it doesn't taste like honey. That's not the right.
It will taste like honey, this specific one,
Yeah, it has
but
more tang to it.
Has
This
it
is more
orange?
fruity.
Does it have an orange undertone?
but the rind, very similar to what you were saying, and honey. Not caramel, not sugar. This is a different kind of sweetness, like honey.
This is like citrus.
Very citric, huh?
Yeah.